guys. So today we're going to talk about the homeopathic perspective on vaccination. So how do we homeopaths look at vaccination? Well, basically, how we look at it is very similar to the so-called conspiracy theorists, to the truth movement. Of course, we consider it to be extremely harmful. So there's no debate about that. Homeopaths consider it to be extremely harmful. There's a fringe group within homeopathy that considers homeopathy to be complementary medicine. But most of us know that there's only harm to be done, and there's no benefit whatsoever. But of course, there are some unique aspects of the perspective on vaccines when it comes to homeopathy. So we have I think we have some insight to offer, in addition to what has been said a million times by all the truthers, by the freedom community who actually do know the truth about vaccines, right? So, but we do have some additional insight. So that's what I want to talk about today. So most people say, that you should get you shouldn't get vaccinated because of the harmful additives, heavy metals, poisons. Of course, they put poison in there, right? Because of that, you shouldn't get vaccinated. And the truth community talks about various poisons and ridiculous substances inside vaccines. And that is true, absolutely true. But what you have to be aware of with vaccines is that because of the way they are administered, minute doses, which excite your body's immune system, it actually works in a similar way to homeopathy. So that means on the energetic level, if you give very small amounts of something and excite the body with those substances, it starts working more on an energetic level, not the physical level. So the vaccines, they have somehow managed, right? The controllers of the world, whoever they are, reptilians or the Chi-Coms or whatever, they have figured out a way to excite the body energetically, and because it's exciting the body in the wrong direction, it's going to be a shock to the immune system. So vaccines are actually energetic shocks to the immune system. And this is a devious, I don't know, this is witchcraft, right? They have figured out a way to affect the body in a deep energetic manner, right? Just because you give someone a little bit of heavy metals, it wouldn't actually make someone very sick. But vaccines somehow affect you on your biofield level, and they just it's a blow like with a hammer on your biofield energy systems. And that's why people can become very sick and have their immune system collapse, which is based on your bioenergetic field, right? So that's one thing, right? That's why vaccines are very, very, very harmful. They can just completely penetrate and destroy you. And of course, there are other aspects of vaccines there are other reasons why we consider vaccines harmful in homeopathy, and that is the fact that, of course, if you stop someone from having acute diseases, which vaccines do, right? We consider that to be harmful. So we're kind of like the terrain theory people as homeopaths. We consider acute disease to be not just a morbific process, like a undesirable process. We consider acute disease to be certain types of acute disease, like ones that come with a fever. We consider those to be regenerative processes in the body. The terrain theory people say that it's detoxing, but it's more than that, right? It's an energetic regenerative process. That's the way we view it in homeopathy, which is similar to the terrain theory people, but it's a little bit different of a perspective. So the vaccines take away your body's ability to produce acute disease and heal itself, and that leads to chronic disease. Of course, how do the vaccines take away your body's ability to produce acute disease? Mainstream medicine says that you fight off the disease, which is not true. So in homeopathy, we say that, of course, what happens is you have destroyed your immune system. The vaccine has destroyed your immune system, and that's why it's not able to produce acute disease, which are actually regenerative processes for chronic healing. Imagine that, right? So what they're touting as like a big achievement of vaccines, like not having acute disease, is actually the destruction of your immune system and leads to more chronic disease. If we're not considering any of the other harmful effects, it's still going to be make you have chronic disease if you stop your body from having acute disease. And one last thing we can talk about is, vaccine reactions. When you give a vaccine to someone, you should, if you can't avoid taking a vaccine, right? You should observe the reaction of the body. If you absolutely can't avoid it, or you have to get your children vaccinated. So when you vaccinate someone, and there's a big fever, for instance, right? There's a big fever. They get a big fever. Then that means that the body is struggling. It's fighting against the influence of the vaccine. And it's probably a good sign. If it's fighting the vaccine, right, there's a good chance that it's going to overcome it. But, it's you never know. You never know. So that's because, basically the vaccine is an energetic influence, right? So you get an energetic negative influence in your biofield, and your body is raising a fever, which is, as we said, a regenerative process. So when that happens, basically, it's kind of a good sign your body is fighting the morbific influence of the vaccine. But if If your body, there's no reaction of the body to the vaccine, then that's also might be a good sign. As we said, vaccines are energetic influences. So that means it didn't affect the body at all, right? If you get like chronic inflammation and stuff like that, that's when it means the vaccine really matched your frequency and managed to penetrate into your biofield and did a lot of damage. Okay, so that's like a subacute, semi-chronic inflammation start. That's a really, really, really bad sign. So, yeah, I mean, it has to be said, the truth community should look into this, right? In my opinion, they should actually investigate this. I don't have the time to investigate this. I'm not a truth community researcher. I could be, but I mean, I'd love to be, but I don't have the time for that. What they should do is investigate this aspect of vaccinations, which is what kind of black magic they use to affect the body so deeply, right? As I said, it's kind of like the homeopathic principle. They kind of use the homeopathic principle, but how they manage to do all of the to make it so harmful, how they manage to destroy people's health just right after getting the shot, almost immediately sometimes, and having severe life-threatening problems for some people immediately. How did they manage to do that? What kind of it's some kind of secret technology or black magic or something, and we should look into that. Of course, the COVID vaccine, they took it to another level. Everybody knows that you should never get that. It is, of course, we have been theorizing about those, and I can imagine the worst conspiracy theories to be true about the COVID vaccine. So never take that. You know, what they say about those, they say that it could be building a cyborg entity inside you. And I absolutely, as funny as that sounds, I absolutely can imagine that being the case. I'm sorry if you took the COVID vaccine. I can absolutely imagine, you know, the semi-intelligent conscious nanobots assembling in your body and taking over. Unfortunately, you know, the controllers of the world have the technology to do that. So if you took the COVID vaccine, you might become a zombie, and that is very unfortunate. It's not, also, the COVID vaccine is not my specialty research, my research specialty area, right? Basically, I'm a homeopathic expert. That's what I make videos about. But you know, if there's what I actually wanted to announce is that if there's like somebody from the Truth Movement who wants to come on this channel and talk about the COVID vaccine or other vaccines, for instance, and maybe other health topics as well, I would love to have prominent people from the Truth community come on this channel. I'll interview you. I'll be asking the question, and you can tell me what you have uncovered or what you know. I think you probably will know more than I do about these issues. But I'd love to cover this because it's related to health. It's related to homeopathy, right? So if you are a so-called, quote, conspiracy theorist, I would love to for you to come on my channel, and just feel free to get in touch. I have all my contact details everywhere. So if that's it for today, thank you very much, and thank you.